Stay with me a minute, Hobson. You know, I hate to be alone.
Yes, bathing is a lonely business.
Except for fish.
I know you gonna dig this.
Once in your life, you find her, someone who turns your heart around, and next thing you know, you're closing down the town.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? So here I am in Plainfield, New Jersey. And here's where Dudley Moore died and is buried. In New Jersey. Dudley Moore, if you don't know who he is, I'd be surprised. Some younger people may not. He was huge in the 80s. He was one of the biggest box office stars around. He starred in Arthur, Unfaithfully Yours, Arthur 2, 10 with Bo Derek. Now, I saw these movies when I was a little bit older on video, and the man was a comedic genius. Not only that, though, he was a composer, he was a writer, he was brilliant. He could pick up any instrument and play it. That, to me, that's a different level of genius. I'm going to tell you more about his life. I mean, he was short. He's very famously short, but that was something that shaped him for a long time because he was born with 2 club feet and had a lot of operations. He was born in 1935. So you think, and in the late 30s, when he was having these operations to repair his club feet, they both feet moved, pointing inwards, and I think on his left foot, or both feet, the ankles were beneath where the heel would be. And the right foot was able to heal, but the left didn't. So he walked with a limp, and he was short, and he had a lot of self-esteem issues about that. And then he just took to music and a sharp wit, because he didn't want to be bullied, and he just rose up and became huge. He went to Oxford. Right here, though, is where he passed away, and that was in 2002. Now, I've read 2 differing stories that he passed away at the home of his caregiver and friend, Renee, and her husband, Brian, right here, or they passed away in his house, which is right next door. Now, why New Jersey? I think it's the Kessler Institute, where he was going for rehabilitation because he had, progressive supranuclear palsy. So he had a lot of health issues later on in life. And out here in New Jersey, where he got the rehabilitation, is not too far from New York City, where I am right now. So he picked this area, and he said that it reminded him of England. And it does. It's beautiful. It's all green. The cemetery is right across the street. So I'm going to show you the 2 houses. I'm going to show you the house of his caregiver and show you Dudley Moore's house. You're going to be shocked when you see Dudley Moore's house because it's tiny. But, I mean, he wanted to be close to his friends, and he loved the area. And like all the other houses you see behind me here, they're huge. Well, not huge, but they've got all the very distinct look. His doesn't stand out at all, but it was a home of Dudley Moore. And I think I've read that he died in that house, and I've also read that he died next door. So I'll show you both. Let's go. So right there, that's the home of his caregivers and friends, Renee and Brian. And I've read that he passed away there. But a ranch house right next door came up for sale, and he bought the house. And it's right next door. And I believe Renee and Brian still live there. But right next door is Dudley Moore's final home. And I believe the one where it's either this home or the one next door where he passed away. It's hard to clarify that, but I think it was his own home. But it's right next door. And there you go. That's the home where Dudley Moore passed away. I believe. If not that house, it's that house. But this is the one that he owned. Isn't that crazy? Dudley Moore lived in there. Superstar. Hugely talented. Okay, now we're going to go to the cemetery where he's buried and pay our respects.
When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. When you get cau
it is strange that he's buried all the way out here in New Jersey, being from England and living in New York for so long. But I think this is where he was happiest near the end, out here in New Jersey. And New Jersey gets a bad rap for various reasons, but New Jersey is more than just the busy little cities up and down the corridor kind of. It's got some gorgeous areas. It's one of the most beautiful states, New Jersey, easily. The seaside and the countryside, absolutely gorgeous. And I could see why. After reading about his death, I can see why he thought of it like England. All of New Jersey, even. It kind of has that feel. Very, very touching, very poignant. That's a beautiful photo, too, they have of him there playing piano on the beach. And you can see people have left. There you go. Seashells, there's lots of rocks. It reads, Dudley S. J. Moore, April 19th, 1935 to March 27th, 2002. Cherished friend, celebrated musician, actor, comedian. I believe on the back it says Moore, I think. No, it does not. But there's rocks all around. So a lot of people come out here and pay tribute to Dudley Moore out here in Scotch Plains, Plainfield area. It's really hard to fathom now when you think about how big of a star he was. Arthur was the #1 movie of, I guess, 81, I think it was. He was nominated for Best Actor. He was nominated for 4 Academy Awards in total. He didn't win, but he did win a Golden Globe. What did he win the Golden Globe for? I know he won a Golden Globe. And I can't remember quite what it was. And it's this. And of course he did Like Father, Like Son with Kirk Cameron. And that was huge for me. I loved that movie as a kid. I thought it was great. So, remembering that movie, it's one of those body switching movies. It was a great movie. It really showed off his comedic prowess. He upstaged Kirk Cameron. Not that difficult to do, but he did. And he also had a sitcom in the 90s, but it didn't last too long. But then he returned to being a classical pianist. He preferred playing jazz. When he passed away, he was listening to a collection of his own recordings. And I believe he said, I can hear the music around me, were his final words. Something to that effect. Like I've said before, I'm not... my channel is not necessarily A&E biography. I remember things that I read and that I've known for a long time and just talk about the person or the place and then fill in the gaps with stuff that I've written down if I can, do a little voiceover or something. But a lot of times I just like to remember the person and remember what I know. And yeah, Dudley Moore was huge. His career, his style. He was a leading man at 5'4". You know, unconventional looking, unconventional sounding, and he was kind of a sex symbol. Dudley Moore. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Dudley Moore, before he became famous in the United States, was quite famous in the UK. He's probably best remembered for his comic partnership with Peter Cook and his outstanding piano playing as well. The duo developed a cult following in the 60s with their Dud and Pete partnership on Not Only But Also, a sketch comedy series, and are widely credited with changing the face of British comedy. Now, as I stated before, Dudley had progressive supranuclear palsy, and he actually died from pneumonia, which was a complication that arose from that disease. And often in his final public appearances, the way he appeared, people assumed he was drunk, but that's not the case. It's a debilitating degenerative brain illness, kind of like Parkinson's, but without the shaking so much. And I'm going to play you some clips of him in one of his last interviews, and they're difficult to watch, they're sad, but I want to include them, and just to show you what this disease is like.
Tell me what the mood's like.
It is fine.
His body has, in a sense, betrayed him. The difficulty of having a humorous, quick, witty conversation with someone and being at a loss because you can't process that information as quickly as you've done in the past. It's extremely exasperating in those very little ways.
Yes, it is different than I used to speak.
Yeah. Gone? Is the thought gone?
Gone.
Okay.
All right, so that was my visit to Dudley Moore's grave right there behind me. Yeah, Dudley Moore. It is a gloomy, cloudy day, but I made it out here, and I'm glad you were with me. Watch Arthur. Watch Like Father, Like Son. Watch some of his old stuff you can see on YouTube with Peter Cook. Pretty incredible how funny he was. All right, thanks for watching. Rest in peace, Dudley Moore. Thanks for the laughs. I love all of you. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
What do you miss most?
What I miss most, playing the piano. I love it so much, and I miss that very much.